Hey everybody, welcome back to another video in Credit for Dropouts. I'm Josh.
And I'm Miles.
We got Miles here with you today. So we wanted to talk to you real quick about where to find your report. And this is basically where you're going to be able to find your credit report and be able to read it. And we got another lesson that you guys hopefully have already seen that tells you how to read it and what goes into your credit report. Well, the first one is going to be annualcreditreport.com. This is a pretty good company. They just give you pretty much do they give you all three for free?
They give you all three for free
It's the once a year or something like that, isn't it?
Once a year you get all your reports for free.
So that's the one, that's why they call it Annual Credit Report.
Annualcreditreport.com is where you can see your Experian, your TransUnion, your Equifax. For every year you can renew it and get your report for free.
Yep.
And then...
Yeah, and the next one is going to be Privacy Guard. So Privacy Guard, for me personally, I think has been the most in-depth that I've found so far. I've gone on Privacy Guard and they've told me things like about TransUnion and Experian that I got the report directly from them and it didn't even show up on those ones. So Privacy Guard has Privacy Guard is one of the most in-depth ones I've found. However, it is pretty pricey. They charge about $25 a month, which is a decent amount for this. But it is very in-depth, and you can also get the first month for only $1. So if you sign up, do it for $1, just make sure you cancel your membership right after you read your report, but that will give you a really, really in-depth credit report.
And they have tiers, so the $25 one is once a month, but you get to see every little thing on your report.
Yep. Like when we mean everything about your report, you're going to go on here and they're going to know things about you that are going to kind of scare you a little bit.
That's why it's called privacy. They're going to know everything private about you.
Yeah. Credit Karma, this one is a really, really good free app. You can download it on your phone. I like to check this one daily. This shows you your TransUnion and your Equifax score. And those are, it's going to show you your Vantage score, not your FICO score. So there's a difference between Vantage score and FICO, and that's going to be something that we go over in a different video, so make sure you subscribe if you want to know the differences there between the two. But this is going to show you your Vantage score for Equifax and TransUnion. I don't usually like to base if I'm about to go apply for a credit card, I don't base that decision on what Credit Karma shows me, because from what I've noticed in my own experience, Credit Karma can vary either 30 points high or 30 points low. It could be a little different than what your credit report actually shows when you do the application. If I am about to go do an application or an Apple-Rama, then I like to look at my Experian. I paid about, I think it's like $10 a month for Experian, and this is a really good one. It gives you daily updates. You're able to see everything like in real time as it gets reported, so that way you're able to track your credit score. I highly recommend getting that one. It's super cheap, only $10 a month. You know, if that's too much money for you, then cancel Netflix and use somebody else's. And this will be a lot more valuable than Netflix.
And with Credit Karma and Experian, there's free sections of it. I would just have them both on your phone. Whatever you put in banking, throw your credit scores in there so you can be keeping up to date on that. Another way you can find your scores as well is if you have bank accounts. A lot of banks will give you your credit score.
Yeah, I think the Chase Sapphire gives you a credit score. The Citi ones give me credit scores.
Discover gives you your credit score. One thing, if you have a Wells Fargo bank account, they'll give you your FICO 9 or FICO 8 score. A lot of credit unions won't display it because a lot of credit unions don't have the best apps, but you can go inside and ask the banker what your score is. I know, I believe with Chase, they do pulls every month, soft pulls, so they're not going to impact your score. But they can tell you your credit score right there, and they can take a look on it for you. So there's a lot of things you can do to be updated on where you're at.
And the more different places you find your credit score, the better idea you'll have of exactly where you're at, because you'll go on Privacy Guard and they'll give you one score, you look at Experian, they'll give you a different score, and then you go to Credit Karma and you'll see a different score. So the more you have, the more you'll be able to put all those together and have a really good idea of where you're at when you're going to apply for something. And before you go to apply, you can go look on credit boards, which is one of the things we talked about in the previous lessons, is a place we like to do research. They'll tell you where you got pulled. So if you searched Citi Double Cash on credit boards, then it'll show you other people's experiences, and they'll say they pulled Experian and this was my credit score. So go look at your Experian score if you're about to apply for that card, so that way you know what they're about to see. If you're at a spot where you're not that great with if your Experian score is only like 690, but your TransUnion score is like 740, but they're going to pull Experian, you don't want to do that because they're going to see Experian, they're not going to see your TransUnion one.
And that's a lot of what people don't know. when you get a credit card and you apply, they're only going to pull for maybe one or two. I know Capital One pulls from everything.
Yeah,
They
Capital
pull
One
from
pulls all three.
Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, but a lot of like American Express and Chase cards, they'll only pull from Experian.
I think I've only ever been pulled by one bureau every time I apply,
Yeah.
except for Capital One. They pull from all three.
Yeah, Capital One does all three, but in my experience as well, the other creditors, when you apply for a credit card, they have a specific bureau that they'll pull from.
Yeah, yeah.
A
It's
lot of-
usually Experian, from what I've noticed
Yeah.
too.
A lot of Experian, because Experian is super accurate.
Mhm.
Well, from what I've seen, I don't know if you've heard this too, but if you live in different areas of the United States, they might pull from a different bureau.
Mhm.
That's just what I've heard, and I've seen people that have had that as well. But I would just research, hey, if I apply for this card, where's that pool going to be from?
Yeah.
And you could even, I've called American Express and be like, if I apply, are you pulling from my TransUnion? Are you pulling from my Experian? So when I got my American Express Business Gold, they told me they were going to pull from my Experian, and they in fact did.
Yeah, and you could actually find that on credit boards too. It'll tell you where
Oh,
they,
yeah.
where they were when they applied. And something I've noticed before while doing research on credit boards is I was applying for a credit card and I noticed that somebody with a low score got approved in like Colorado, but somebody in California near where I was got denied, and they had a better credit score than the other person. So I, used a VPN on my computer, which if you don't know what a VPN is, we'll have a lesson about how to use VPNs to get better sign-up offers and be able to do things like this. Basically, you're able to change the location of your computer, so when you apply, they think you're in Colorado or wherever it is that they usually approve those limits for. I think that's about it.
All right.
Yeah, anything else you want to add here?
The main topic we're going to give you is you got to research.
Yeah.
You got to spend time
Always-
on all these
always
things.
research.
You got to learn them. It's a little bit of your time that you're going to invest in watching. If you have time to watch TV, you'd have time to study.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, cancel Netflix, get Experian.
learn.